Money FM 89.3, the best of the afternoon update. The afternoon update with Lynlee Fu.
Money FM 89.3, a very good afternoon to you. Now, the logistics and automation sectors are experiencing one of the most transformative periods in decades. Fueled by the surge in e-commerce, urbanization, and changing consumer expectations, the industry is under intense pressure to deliver faster, more cost-effectively, and, of course, more sustainably. Automation is at the heart of this shift. Technologies such as autonomous delivery vehicles, last-mile robots, AI-driven logistic platforms and smart warehouses are moving from pilot programs into large-scale operations. Cities are investing heavily into smart infrastructure, integrating IoT, 5G and traffic management systems to support the next generation of logistics. At the same time, we've got challenges like labor shortages, rising operational costs, and growing demands for sustainability, which are forcing companies to rethink traditional delivery models. Hello and welcome to Industry Insight. I'm your host, Lynlee. Today we're zooming into one of the most dynamic and fast-evolving areas of the logistics world, automated delivery solutions and final mile logistics. And I'm really pleased to have Alan Ng, CEO and founder of Quikbot Technologies, join me in the studio this afternoon to share insights on where the industry is headed, how automation is reshaping final mile logistics, and what businesses should be doing now to stay ahead. Alan, it's such a pleasure to have you with us today, right in the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. It's a pivotal time for the logistics and automation industries, and I'm sure our Money FM 89.3 audiences, they're eager to hear your perspectives, especially with so much change happening both regionally as well as globally. Now, let's set the stage. How would you describe the state of play for final mile logistics today?
We are in one of the oldest trade. A lot of people are enjoying the fruit of this industry, but without realizing the impact that e-commerce or the growth of e-commerce the last 5 to 8 years has in this industry. And this industry is facing one of the most challenging time during this whole period of time. I mean, amidst most of the problem that you and me know about, shortage of labor whatsoever, the 1.5 degree they're all trying to lower and etc. But the fact is, until the last few years, there maybe seems a lot of different kind of solutions, but we are proud to say Quikbot had now finally come up with something uniquely ours, first in the world. We call it the autonomous final mile delivery platform as a service for smart city. So we thought, we think and we believe that we have found one of a solution to help overcome the pressure on last mile delivery in city, mainly in metropolis, moving ahead.
For the benefit of our listeners, Ellen, let's just backtrack a little bit. Can you explain why the final mile is considered the hardest mile in logistics?
So, quick one. 3,000 years ago, we used camel and horses and horse cart to deliver from city to city, point to point. And when they reach the city and they reach the house or the buildings, the poor guy got to get off the horse or the camel, offload the parcel and then carry by hand, walk to the door and deliver to the person or climb up the stairs. There's no elevator. Fast forward 3,000 years now, we talk about technology, we talk about autonomous vehicle, we talk about drone delivery, etc. Come to think about it, they will land and they'll reach your building. The poor guy, 3,000 years after, still has to go down, park the car, take out the parcel, walk up the stairs, change the pass, take an elevator, deliver to you by hand.
So we haven't evolved very much in terms of logistics.
None has been. A lot has been evolving, but one of the biggest challenge of, we call it the final mile, which means, because last mile is a long time, right? Last mile means quite a number in the industry, but we just talk about one last mile, 1.5 kilometers, meaning from the guy that maybe parked the van at the HDB car parks or the underground loading bay at the bay, and taking the parcel, walking all the way up, that we call it the final mile. So if you take a look at it, last night, if you place an order on e-commerce, you are just one of them. Think about all the people that place in the last 24 hours. Right. For every single parcel, we need one single human to deliver the pack. It's not possible, right? The last number that we hear was 150 billion number of parcels delivered a year worldwide. That's about, 100 billion a month?
Wow.
How could
Phenomenal.
How could we even possibly handle it? Yeah, so we need to solve it. If we do not, we're going to face quite a lot of problem. We will have social problem because the supply of labor will never catch up with the demand for such labor, which means there will be structural change, that the traditional driver market will no longer able to cope. Then what we'll see is what's happening right now maybe in China and many other countries where university graduate, poly graduate get into the food delivery business because it's more lucrative instead of going through the proper channel to learn and to support the rest of the industry. That's the structural social problem. The second, of course, a lot of people think about cost. I mean, I'm a sucker of e-commerce. Don't get me wrong. I'm with it, right? But the fact is, when all of us place our order, whether it's businesses or individual, through the platforms, and when labor intensify, the shortage intensify, cost of delivery goes up, and one fine day, when the platform decided not to subsidize no more, like what happened with Grab, when Grab and Uber is around, the competition is that we're getting all the good. But finally, when it's not, right, demand and supply, the market balancing act will have to come in. Likewise, it's the same for last mile. Then think about our CPI, Consumer Price Index. Think about inflations. In the old days, we can say we can manage inflation in a traditional way, but now you have to include the inflation, including the demand and supply of labor that's handling our delivery. So as you and me all move towards online delivery, we are enjoying what we call digital convenience, right?
That's right.
But the truth is, the actual humans still have to deliver that manually to you. So what I'm trying to do is one of the problem that's been arising for 3,000 years, really to automate the part that is so difficult to do it. To achieve what we are trying to do, it has never quite been done before because it transcends beyond the traditional industry. We are a traditional robotic company. I mean, by and large, a robotic company job is to develop robot, design robot, and sell the robot.
That's right. I was going to get to that. So we've seen massive investments in last mile innovation over the past few years. You've got drones, autonomous bots, and even smart lockers. So in your view, what technologies are actually gaining commercial traction and which are still stuck in pilot stages?
I hate to put this up. It's really not technology. The issue is really not technology. There's ample technology out there today. We have developed so much technology. I think the issue to overcome in last mile is really not technology. It's really a rethinking of how technology can be used in this particular aspect. All right. I was trying to explain to you, I was traditionally a robotic company, and robotic company either sells or hardware or solutions or software and buy a product or service. But the fact is, it will not work if a robot company case, you will not able to solve whatever we are trying to build. We actually have to transcend from a robotic company working very closely with real estate company, facility management company, to encourage them to allow us to make the building smart, to integrate robotics into smart buildings. And then after that, developing it into a city-scale solution or platform where we connect various different buildings digitally and physically with robots, and offering it platforms to all the logistic companies like of DHL, FedEx, Singapore Post, Grab, etc. So if you see whatever we are trying to build, you can't put me in any place. The best, of course, you call me is a logistic company.
I see.
Right? Because my final revenue comes from the logistic delivery. But the fact is, in order to make this work, we transcend three very distinct disciplines: robotics and technology, real estate and facility management, down to logistic and last mile delivery.
I suppose you're right in saying that we have the technology, because I think back in May 2020, right, during the time of COVID, we already have the first drone delivery service in Singapore. So we are quite, up there when it comes to technology in this space. But how do you assess Singapore's progress in adopting automated delivery solutions compared to our regional neighbors or competitors in the region like China, South Korea?
Seriously, we can't compare country by country or city by city because everybody has different legacy issues, right? Okay. I mean, Singapore, we are smart in one way, but again, we are a very small city, very compact. So I think the industry, the governments are all trying very hard to push automations in this aspect. I mean, in the rest of the aspect, it's happening. But this is one very difficult aspect that we are challenging. It's difficult, right? I mean, in general, Singapore is coming along. Yeah, I know we see a lot more news in China, in many other bigger cities. In UAE, for example,
right.
They are testing and trialing. They even set up a drone delivery services just recently. Yeah, it's still on trial. It's not commercial. Yeah, unlike we just got commercial. Yeah. I think the challenges, again, is not tech. Let me come back to you. It's not tech. It's never about tech, right? It's about legislation, right? It's about insurance. Does it cover when the autonomous vehicle, the robot, get into trouble, right? It's about buying in by the key players. For example, like would the logistic company would like to engage such investment, such technology? How does it transform their processes, their SOPs? So a lot of things, when you look at evolutions or revolutions, technology is a tool. Technology is a tool.
Okay.
The buy-in is important, right? At the end, of course, most importantly is how we design the business model to get everybody to buy in. And in the same time, it benefits both the partners, both the strategic stakeholders. So does we, at the end, finally benefits you and me.
I see. I see what you mean now. So conversely, there are opportunities here as well, right, for Singapore to strengthen our leadership in autonomous logistics, in regulation, talent development, and even partnerships.
Definitely. But again, this is something very challenging, right? When you look at legislation, look at bylaws, they require a lot of data, information. It requires a lot of test bed and takes time, right? And takes time to pass a law and legislation. But innovation, unfortunately, is quite different, right? You need to test, you need to try, you need to use it.
Takes time.
And along the way, then you start to know, what problem we may face. I mean, until we try some new technology in a new use case, we never know what truly transpire, what kind of problem we could face. So I guess if I would to have a choice, which we are in very much close contact with all the various stakeholders in the Singapore innovation landscape, is we need to try.
Okay.
And I agree with you. Being in Singapore, we've been talking about Smart Nation for a long, long time. We should be leading. And in fact, we are not doing too badly at the moment. Yeah, but it's quite different today versus 20 years ago or 30 years ago. I'm not so young today. I'm coming 50. I'm actually over 50. If you think about what we have been seeing lately these years, we used to think like, if you want to come to Southeast Asia, just come to Singapore, right? But these days, companies can go straight to Malaysia. They can go straight to Indonesia. They don't have to go through the Singapore gateway, for example, right? Or likewise, in the past, Asia-Pacific offices in Singapore. Today is no longer. We're just a Southeast Asia, or sometimes not even a Southeast Asia office. And technology goes straight from maybe China's leading, maybe Japan is coming back up again after being laid back for a while. So I think in the new world, every country has to fight harder.
Now let's talk about Middle East. I know Quikbot Technologies recently announced a major new partnership to launch an autonomous delivery platform at Dubai Silicon Oasis. So what specifically will Quikbot be doing, at Dubai Silicon Oasis?
So what we actually is doing in Singapore is the same. Right. First, we are actually trying to automate as many real estate as possible, build as many autonomous clusters as possible so that we can help logistic company to address the problem they face. The problem is simple. How do we help them to at increasing volume of delivery with labor shortage, able to still deliver so much parcel without increasing cost? So that's what we're trying to do. So in Singapore, we have successfully deployed in established development. We are now in Mapletree Business City. There will be more to come, hopefully. In the next 2 to 3 months, a lot more real estate, generally commercial real estate. So
exciting.
Talk about UAE. Personally, I was in UAE 2 years back. So I started UAE in 2003. So when we designed this whole particular business with Quikbot, Singapore obviously is what we want, but we wanted to do more than that. We want to share this technology with as many cities as possible. But like all technology, there will be different phases that will be deployed in different type of city, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, subject to whether is it infrastructure ability or whether is it the ability to pay for the services so that we can sustain such an high-tech model, example. So from day one, we wanted to be in the Middle East, in particular UAE and KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And in Asia, we wanted to be in Japan and Korea. So our target is really to deploy in these 5 countries. We actually don't grow by country, we grow by city.
I see.
So we talk about Dubai, we talk about Abu Dhabi, we talk about Riyadh, Jeddah, Neom. We talk about Tokyo, Nagoya, Osaka, Kobe, Fukuoka. We talk about Seoul, Incheon, Busan. So that's basically what we are trying to do.
Okay. We're running out of time, Alan,
Sure.
but let's fast forward. In 5 to 10 years, I'd like to hear your thoughts about what does the final mile landscape, what would it look like in cities like Singapore, Dubai, and beyond?
I think we offer one solution, all right? And our solution mainly targets commercial clusters and probably clusters, how should I put it, cluster environment, right? But we will need more than that, all right? So besides, I believe in the next 5 to 10 years, you will see a hell lot more different type of solutions. We would be one of them. Yeah, but at the moment, I hope we still remain the leader on it. We have great plans to share, but one thing I think definitely we need to do is we are not selfish about it. We plan to share this entire technology with Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 across the world. And that's basically what Quikbot is driving.
Okay. Before I let you go, I know we've run out of time, but I really like to touch on what we're experiencing currently. Election fever is here. So, from your perspective, how might the outcomes of the election influence the logistics and automation sectors, particularly in areas like regulatory support?
I don't have a comment for that one, but I think regardless of the result, I think the government or the respective authorities and the various stakeholders should place a lot more attention to last mile logistics. And I think not enough study has been studying in looking into smart city in not just typical hardware, but also looking at how people are affected in the smart city. Last mile delivery is a problem caused by people for smart city, not caused by infrastructure structure. But so far, all the studies and all the activities that talk about smart cities always been building, digital twin, but they don't look at people. It's people that matters. So that's basically what I have.
Alan, this has been a
me.
very fascinating deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. He is Alan Ng, CEO and founder of Quikbot Technologies, a Singapore firm pioneering in the transformation of urban logistics with the world's first autonomous final mile delivery platform as a service solution.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.